Talking about the decade without a name, this is a review for CNN's The 2000s. I want my MP3 player. So this is it. This is the final episode of that 2000s series. And they finished it off looking at the music of that decade. And what can I say about the music of the 2000s? Honestly, what can I say about it? There wasn't one really defining characteristic of the music of that time, you know? Like with the 50s, you could say it was rock and roll. With the 60s, it was like hippie music. 70s, disco. 80s, punk. 90s, rap. And then later, boy bands. Grunge. Yeah. This decade, you know, I don't know, different genres are doing different things. Country music was all patriotic. Rap was all about the business. Rock and roll kind of mellowed out. Yeah, like I said, no defining characteristic. As far as me with the music at that time, I mean, I heard these songs that they had on last night's episode over and over again. And, you know, be on the radio or at a gentleman's club or whatnot. But there wasn't really any music that I attached myself to from that decade. You know, if I was to talk about the music, I think I'd talk more about the personalities of that decade. We had Eminem, the rapper. Yeah, you know what I always find out funny is people are talking like he got up there and he spoke his truth. It's like, really? You know, Eminem, it seemed like all he ever did was bitch about his mama, bitch about his ex-wife, and then throw in some obscene stuff about Christy Aguilera going down on a guy. I mean, he's a talented lyricist, but, I mean, his truth, you know, he spoke power to whatever. No, he just bitched about his mama, bitched about his ex-wife. Every fucking song with that guy. See, we had Toby Keith. His song, Put a Boot Up Your Ass, That's the American Way. I remember that one, being in the Army. That was one of my favorite songs from that decade. Sang that a lot. Perfect drinking song. And so, you know, we're talking about Toby Keith. Let's talk about the opposite side of that coin, the Dixie Chicks. Who, you know, they didn't talk about the music they were singing in that decade. They talked about the big old controversy that during the Iraq War, they had the gall to say that, you know, we're embarrassed that President Bush is from Texas. And people just lost their fucking minds. And I tell you, I remember hearing about that over in Iraq. People were in a pissy mood about the Dixie Chicks. They're like, they said some horrible things. They're not with the truth. They disrespected us. And I'm like, what did they say? And of course they repeated what they said about President Bush. And I was like, I don't give a shit. It's like, I remember Dixie Chicks. One of their songs was Traveling Soldier. Amazing song about, you know, soldiers and people falling in love. So, you know, I forgave them, but some people, they just got in a pissy mood. And that's kind of one of the things that I noticed is that being in the Army is people want to drag us into their shit. Back then, it was the Dixie Chicks. They said some mean things about how President Bush was an embarrassment. And you know what? They were fucking prophetic, because that guy turned out to be nothing but a goddamn embarrassment. Fuck that guy. And now it's with the national anthem. You know, Colin Kaepernick wants to kneel to say, hey, Black Lives Matter. People losing their fucking minds. And they want to drag us into that shit. Like the national anthem is all about the American soldiers. No, it's not. It's about the country. And this guy saying, hey, country's got some problems. I'm going to take a knee. People are like, it's disrespecting the troops. Leave us out of your fucking shit. That's how I feel about that. Like I said, we're talking about the 2000s, though, so get back on track. Yeah, not much else. Like I said, it was a decade with not really any defining characteristics. I think that's about it. I'm just going to wrap it up. That's what I got for this episode. They had some decent music, but nothing that really defines a generation like other music. Sorry, millennials. That's what you ended up with.